How do speakers work? Well, it's based on principles of electromagnetism. Here's a speaker. Speakers have three basic parts. They have a diaphragm. These are usually made of paper. They have a magnet. Every speaker has a huge magnet on the back side. And then they have a voice coil, which is connected to these wires. These wires go inside behind the diaphragm into a coil of wire. I have a speaker here that I have dissected, and in this one I can pull out the diaphragm, and behind the diaphragm there is the voice coil. You can see that the voice coil is connected to the two wires here, which go to the contacts in the back. So if I can connect these to an electric current, then I can run electric current through the voice coil. That will generate a magnetic field around the voice coil, which then will interact with the permanent magnet's magnetic field on the backside. And I can create an attract, a repel, and when I do that quickly enough, the attract and repel can cause the whole thing to vibrate and to produce sound. So how does that actually work? So back to this speaker. I'm going to connect the speaker to a power supply, which I've got over here, running a current through the voice coil. When I do this, if I switch on my power supply and I disconnect one of the contacts, then you can hear the speaker make its movement. And here I'm just tapping on the back. And every time I tap, the diaphragm of the speaker moves. If I switch them and run current the opposite direction, then the diaphragm will move the other way. It will suck in instead of pushing out. So you get this really nice movement that way. If you do that 100 times a second, you can start to hear a very, very low note. That would be like a bass note in a song. If you go up to 20,000 vibrations per second, you can hear the highest end of the human ear's sensitivity. And so how do you actually get these vibrations? Because obviously no one's going to sit here and do that really, really fast. Well, you need a very smart power supply that can send the current forward and then backwards, forwards, backwards, thousands of times per second. And what could do that? Well, your phone is a very smart power supply that sends that sort of alternating signal when it is connected to a music app. And that music app will tell your headphone wire to send a signal according to the song that you're listening to in such a way that it tells the speaker exactly how to vibrate. So to prove that to you, I will connect this speaker to my iPad. I'm going to pull up a song on my iPad and show you that it does work that way. So I've got some classic John Coltrane here. I've connected the headphone cable. That headphone cable has now been spliced and connected to two open cables here, right, that look just like the ones that I had before. So now I'm going to connect these to those two contacts on the back of the speaker and see if I can get my very smart power supply to play a signal forward and backwards down these wires in such a way to make the speaker vibrate and make music. So here, I'm going to hit play over here. Just to show you, it is coming out of the speaker. Once I disconnect, right, turns off. There's no more current in the voice coil. Once I reconnect, And you can always try this. Touch a speaker and you can feel the vibrations right on your finger. Finally, if you want to make a simple version of this at home, take your speaker and replace the diaphragm with a cup. Take the voice coil, this part of that speaker, and replace it with a simple coil of wire on the back, stripped on both ends. And then take the magnet on the back of your speaker and replace it with some ring magnets here. Then connect these to an aux cable, run it back to your iPad, and if you listen closely, you can hear that it's now playing through my cup. So that's a homemade speaker.